Good evening, everybody. I'm here again on day 8. Is it day 8?
Yeah.
Yes. We just heard this morning that it'll be an extension of 15 days more, so that will be the 17th of April. It may be extended after that, we don't know. Anyway, the thing is we have to keep our spirits up and we have to look after each other, especially those people who are on their own. So I don't talk very much about the coronavirus, and I'm not going to, but all I want to do is say if there's anybody out there who does need help, please write a note on my Facebook or something, and we will help. We're trying to help homeless people and old people who can't get to the shops, so don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm doing today. Today I'm doing a risotto. Now, I only had a little bit of risotto rice, which is the round bomb-shaped rice, in my cupboard, because as I think I told you before, everything I'm doing is what I've actually got in. Apart from chicken and things like that, I'm not really going out for very much. You must remember when you get anything out of your cupboard, especially here in Tenerife, that if it's been open, soak it in water, because sometimes you get weebles and wobbles in it. You know what they are, weebles, or whatever they are, weebles and wobbles. And you let them come to the top and skim them off, and the rest of it is perfectly all right. I'm not saying that that had weebles and wobbles in it, because it might put you off a bit. Okay, right, so we're going over to the cooker, and I'm going to start the first stage of the risotto. Now, the risotto goes into 3 or 4 stages. So I will actually, the filming will be cut slightly in between so that you don't get bored while I'm doing the whole stage, but I will explain what I'm doing. Right, over to the cooker, Marco. We're ready for the first stage now. I've put a little bit of my olive oil in the bottom. I haven't made it very oily because it's not necessary. And in here is half an onion and some leeks. That's because I had half an onion that was already peeled. Chopped up. Now, this is the basis of every risotto, and the one thing you mustn't do is burn that. So it has to be softened until it's slightly translucent. So we do that, stir it round with a little tiny bit of garlic, 1 clove of garlic, 1 small clove of garlic, not a lot. Put that in. Because this is prawns, I like the flavour to remain very delicate. Now, in most risottos, you finish off with parmesan. I'm not going to put parmesan in this because my preference is to keep it nice and fresh and simple, and I don't want the flavour of parmesan cheese mixing with the prawns. It's a personal thing, right? Actually, in this should be celery, but there is somebody holding the camera here who doesn't like it. So because he's got to eat it, I can't put it in. So remember, all risottos have celery in the base.
Except the ones for Marco.
Yes, that's right. Nuisance. Right. That's beginning to soften. I would soften it a little bit more than that normally. We then put the arborio rice in. How do you say that? Arborio rice. And that has to stir around until that is slightly translucent. Very slightly. We don't add any liquid. Now, my preference in a risotto, instead of white wine, is dry martini. Not Bianco, dry martini. And you put sort of half a glass of it in. Well, because we're on lockdown and I'm not going out to buy a bottle of martini, which I might drink all of it if I do, which reminds me, where's my gin? Oh, there it is. I did think of putting gin in it to see if it worked, but no, it should be dry martini. There's not going to be any martini in today.
Because the one who is holding the camera is not drinking alcohol.
Yeah, but it evaporates.
No, it doesn't.
All right.
Not completely.
Okay, I haven't got my glasses on. All I can see is a blur of stuff in a pan. But never mind, I'll go and get them when this stops. Now, I can't tell, but maybe Marco can tell me when that goes translucent or a little tiny bit see-through. Never burn anything. It's on number 5. Okay? Now I'm going to tell you about the prawns. These are uncooked prawns. You should always use uncooked prawns for this to get the real flavour out. But your ordinary cocktail prawns that you get in England will do. We can't get them here. So I'm very particular about what I buy. These are from Mercadona and they're in a very small pack and they're frozen. And they're always grey in colour. I do take the black bit out, although Marco says you don't need to. Do you? Do you or don't you?
No, I don't think so. Not in that size.
I don't really know about that, but I take it out anyway. Now these don't take very long to cook, so they're going in right at the end. They are absolutely delicious, and if anybody wants to know how to get them, I will tell you. Okay, because there's lots of prawns in the shops and you can easily get the wrong ones, but try uncooked ones. Right, now I think that is going a little bit translucent. Is it, Marco?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, we then at that stage would add the martini very slowly and a little bit of stock. Now when the stock goes in, you put a little tiny bit at a time. The secret of risotto is not to cook the outside of the rice too quickly. You've got to cook it from the inside outwards by adding very slowly and cooking it slowly. Little tiny bit. If I put all that stock in and boiled it up, it would ruin it. You get a natural creaminess with a risotto and it won't come out properly if you don't do it like this. Have you done risotto, Marco?
Yeah.
Have you?
I watched it.
Oh. Right, okay, I'm going to stop now because this process is going to go on for quite a long time. I'm going to be adding a little bit and a little bit. And at the stage where I think the rice still has a little bit of a bite to it, I'm going to come back to you and show you the finishing bit. I've been adding the stock very slowly and it's absorbing it. I haven't actually used all of it. I thought I might need more, but I didn't have much rice, so it doesn't need that much. This stock is actually those little containers like this, and this one is vegetable. I didn't have fish, so I had to use vegetable, and I put 2 of them in there. You probably would be making more rice, so you would use all of that stock. If you can't get these, it doesn't matter, ordinary stock cubes melted in water. It has to be warm. This is still really warm. It has to be warm when it goes in. Now I'm going to, while this has been cooking, I put salt and pepper to taste, a little bit of my usual Liam Perrins, and now I'm going to put the prawns in. Now, we'll stir the prawns into it, and you will see them start to change colour. I'm going to add the peas as well.
Give peas a chance.
Yes. All we are saying is give peas a chance. Now today is a lovely day because it's horrible weather and it's raining. And I've been looking forward to the rain. A lot of people who are locked in don't want it to rain because they've got terraces where they can sunbathe. But I haven't got a terrace. Well, put the camera on me. I've got some different glasses on, so I want everybody to see them. I haven't got a terrace and I can't sunbathe, so I like this bad weather, hard luck, and it's going to last for a whole week. Okay, right back to the prawns. I'm horrible, aren't I? Can you see how they're starting to cook? Lemon juice has to go in here, but Marco, the lemon's over there, but you can keep the camera on that while I cut up the lemon. And you had forgotten something. No, I forgot something yesterday when I was cooking that other thing. Balsamic vinegar I didn't put in it.
The other thing?
Yeah, the other thing which I didn't like. Sometimes I have to just cook what's there. and I'm going to have a real good look in my cupboards and find something else to cook. I'll have to start buying things very soon. These prawns were in my freezer. Marco is doing, what's you doing? Not fajitas, what are they called?
Falafels tomorrow.
Marco's doing falafels, and I have to say, they're absolutely very Moorish and very gorgeous. And you can use some of the fresh mint that I've got in those, Marco. Right, into this we have fresh mint, which I did buy, fresh parsley and basil. Have a look out there. Can you hear the wind outside? No?
Maybe a little bit, not
A little
now.
bit, yeah. Put that in as well. There we go. And I will taste it in a minute to see if it's seasoned enough. But when these prawns cook through, which they're very close, can you see what a beautiful fresh dish this is? Good for you, not too fattening, very fresh. It is at this stage that you would add a knob of butter and the fresh parmesan, and then you would put a lid on the top like so. Turn it all off, and for 10 minutes let the whole thing fuse together. The thing about a risotto is it's best to eat it almost immediately. I have frozen it, and when I've frozen it, when I heat it up, I add a bit more stock, but it's always best freshly made. I'm just going to put the butter in, and then we are over and out. And Marco will see you tomorrow, but no doubt I will have a few words to say while he's cooking. He's been very quiet while I'm doing the cooking, but he isn't normally. As soon as the camera goes off, he tells me everything that I've done wrong. Butter, lid on, cooker off the heat, let it all fuse in together. That will be absolutely beautiful.